My time.
Okay.
I grew up in San Francisco. I'm a sweat hog, right? All I do is play basketball. I grew up playing ball at the park, so I'm all about talking trash and being fancy. So I go try out for a high school team. I'm doing pretty good, but the guys on the team don't like me, so they used to beat me up in the shower and urinate on me after practice. So I stopped going to practice. So I get cut from the team my sophomore, junior, senior year.
What high school is this?
St. Ignatius, San Francisco. So now I only want to go to one school, that's UCLA. And the only reason I want to go to UCLA, I want to watch John Wooden's teams play basketball in person. That's it. Only apply to one school, one reason, end of conversation.
Wait a minute, you're talking too fast. You are in high school. You want to go to UCLA for one reason, which is you want to watch John Wooden's team.
Basketball's team play in person.
In person.
That's
and
it.
That is the foundational reason why
it's
you
not the foundation reason, it's the only reason.
It's the only reason you applied to the only school you applied for.
Correct.
Because you were what did you call yourself at the very beginning?
Sweat hog.
A sweat hog. Okay.
Didn't play in my high school team. 3 years, cut.
Keep going.
Trash talking, fancy.
Okay. Keep going.
So I get to UCLA. I'm a freshman at UCLA, right?
Yes.
I come with the Walton class. 6 players on scholarship, 5 players on scholarship, Walton, Wilkes, and the rest of the Hall of Famers. Great. So I'm down still hooping. That's all I do is hoop. I'm down at Pauley Pavilion every night playing. A guy named Henry Bibby, All-American at UCLA, was down there shooting every night.
Coach Bibby?
Yeah, Coach Bibby. But
okay.
Anyway.
So this is, hang on. You got to slow it down for me. You are in 1970?
1970, you're on it.
Okay, 1970.
I'm down in the gym at Pauley.
Okay.
Henry Bibby says, hey, man, you want to play one-on-one? I go, yeah, sure. I come over, I play Henry Bibby one-on-one.
Henry Bibby takes you.
He calls me over to say,
you're shooting in the rec room.
At Pauley Pavilion at night. He says, you want to play one-on-one? Come on over here.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, you do want to play.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Henry Bibby, man.
I know, keep going.
So every night, Henry Bibby would beat me one-on-one, 26-2, 26-0, 26-3, whatever, game after game after game after game.
Why are you guys even playing?
Because it saved him the trouble of having to go rebound the ball for himself.
Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going.
So Bibby tells me, he goes, man, you're a pretty good player. He goes, you got to try out for the freshman team. So they're going to have tryouts for the freshman team at UCLA. There's going to be 6 players on that team. Walton, Wilkes, Gary Franklin, Bob Clark, Vince Carson, Dave Cumberland. And there's 60 other guys, all CIF, all this, whatever, trying out for this squad. The coach's name is Gary Cunningham.
Okay.
I try out for the team, but I'm loose. Remember what we talked about, don't worry. So I don't care. Shoot, I'm just out there hooping, right? I'm street creds. I end up playing great. They cut down to 4 guys, 4 walk-ons. I'm one of them. So now we got 6 and 4, right? We got 10, and that's going to be the freshman team. I just made the freshman team at UCLA. Couldn't make my high school team, made the freshman team. Anyway,
go ahead.
he makes the team, I get cut.
Okay.
So that's my story, right? So that's me at UCLA. I become best friends with a guy named Larry Farmer, who's on the team. I'm up in the dorm all the time. I end up leaving UCLA and transferring and end up sitting on the bench but on scholarship at a little NAI school down in San Antonio, Texas, called St. Mary's. I get out of college. All I want to do is basketball. I can't get a job doing anything. They have a position at UCLA called the graduate assistant, which always went to a former player.
Yes.
One year, Gene Bartow's second year, they did not have a player that wanted the job. My best friend, Larry Farmer, is the assistant coach. He says, I have a friend, Craig Impelman. He'd do a great job for us, coach. Will you interview him? So I go, great. So I'm making $25,000 a year in retail in Fresno. Farmer says, I got a job for you, $135 a month at UCLA, graduate assistant. You want it? Yeah. I drive down overnight. I interview for the job. I walk in the office, meet Gene Bartow for the first time. I say, Coach Bartow, something you need to know before you even talk to me. Right now, if you told me you wanted a turkey sandwich with mustard on it, I would sprint to the student union. I would get that turkey sandwich with mustard. I would sprint back and I would give you the sandwich. And when you open that sandwich, Coach Bartow, and you saw that it had mustard on it, you would say, Impelman, I wanted mayonnaise. I would take that sandwich back. I would sprint back to the student union. I would get one with mayonnaise. I'd bring it back to you with mayonnaise and hand you the sandwich and never tell you that you ordered with mustard in the first place. And
Did you actually say that to this
that's
guy?
what I said. Coach Bartow goes, "You're hired." Okay. I like this guy. That's how I got the job. Okay, Craig, you're the assistant coach of the JV team. Be here every day at 1 o'clock. Great. So I get a job washing dishes in the dorm, 6:45, 8:15 in the morning, because I can pack my lunch, eat breakfast. I go to the men's gym, St. Ignatius High School, knit pants, collared shirt, hard shoes, and I go to the office at UCLA at 9:30 a.m. every morning, and I sit on the couch outside. And Gene Bartow walks in every morning. He's looking at me. And he asks Farmer, finally, "What's wrong with your friend?" And he says, "What do you mean, what's wrong with my friend?" He goes, "Well, he's not supposed to be the one. He's sitting on the couch every day at 9:30. And he says, "Well, I think it's because he wants to know there might be something you want." And Gene Bartow says, "Well, if he's here, we might as well have him in the meetings." So now, all of a sudden, I'm in the staff meetings at UCLA. So now Gary Cunningham hires me to coach the same team he cut me from.
Oh, because they've grown up.
There's no freshman team. I'm coaching the JV team at UCLA.
Oh, I got you.
So then I go to Herrick. I go to Pepperdine with Jim Herrick when Larry Brown comes in. Then I come back to UCLA with Larry Farmer. Now I'm coaching basketball as a full-time assistant.
Because Larry's the head coach now.
Yeah, Larry's the head coach. And
Yeah.
one day the phone rings, and the guy in the office, now everybody knows that John Wooden has a granddaughter that's just beautiful. Her name's Christy.
That's your wife.
That's my wife now, 38 years, boy. And she's just stunning and beautiful. And, I saw her one time, and I asked Coach Farmer, I said, "Who's that?" He goes, "That's Coach Wooden's granddaughter. If you ever talk to her, you're fired." And so I said, "Okay, man, I'm not going to try to talk to her. I'm a single guy, right?" So the phone rings, and our now part-time coach runs in, and he says, "Hey, Christy, John Wooden's granddaughter, is on the phone for you, Imp." I go, "What?" So I pick up the phone. She goes, "I'm very nervous. I've never done this before, but I wanted to see if you wanted to meet me for a drink." Now I'm the ugliest sweat hog in the history of America. I could never ask Christy up. And she had seen me coaching basketball at UCLA, and unfortunately for her, in her mind, she was thinking, well, he's kind of cute, and maybe he'll be like my grandfather and be a coach. So we got married very quickly. I mean, that was that. So that's how I married John Wooden's granddaughter.
What year was that?
I don't know, 38 years ago. Don't ask me the number.
Well, how do you
she
not
can
know
never
what
watch the pictures.
How do you not?
I know it's 38 years
now
ago.
She can't watch.
It's
now
going to
we
be our
can't.
39th wedding anniversary this summer.
Okay, well.
So that's what I know that.
Okay, that's good enough.
So,
Craig.
So we got to fit a John Wooden story, and you're not going to want to cut this one. I started basketball camp, Notre Dame High School, Sherman Oaks. I got 20 kids. There's no water. There's no air conditioning. 5 quit. It's too hot, and I lose $32.50. And my wife's looking at me like, "We're running this camp. Why?" Anyway, John Wooden comes to me and says, "Craig, you know basketball camp you have?" "Yes, sir." He goes, "Well, I'd like to," he has his own basketball camps, John Wooden basketball camps, legendary. He goes, "I'd like to come to your basketball camp every day and teach fundamentals for 2 hours a day, every day. And on Fridays, I'll give a talk about the pyramid of success. And you can publicize it. The only condition is you can't pay me." And I said, "I got to think about that, Coach." No, I'm kidding. So the camp with 23 kids with Craig became the camp with John Wooden.
Oh, my gosh.
With 300 kids, 3 weeks of summer, with a staff of all the former UCLA players, many of them, Dave Myers, Jamal Wilkes, working the camp, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so
All right, well, that's a top one introduction.
I don't know. This is what
It
happened.
was fantastic. So
How do you go from being a sweat hog to marrying John Wooden's granddaughter? That's how it happened.
Well, that's how you do it. You show up 3.5 hours early to work, and then you just work your way through.
Yeah.
And then good things happen.
I didn't know what I was doing. I said, it was there.
Well, it worked out. So thanks for coming. And today we're going to talk. We're talking about Coach Wooden. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about this Wooden's Wisdom product that you have. So without further ado, let's just get right into it.